Welcome everyone to Sunday. Today my topic is about love. A very misunderstood word sometimes. Love is not sexuality, it's a shade of love. It is not superiority, laughing at others and feeling happy when they are low and you are high. That's not love. Love is not contemplating how great you are and feeling happy about it. Mental patterns of superiority. It's not about that. Love is a divine energy, a divine attribute. It can express itself in gross form, like you see, when we are in primal consciousness. It can express itself in aggression, ego, from the heart, strong emotional patterns. It can express itself in mental patterns as well, self-righteousness, superiority, happy within your contained area. But we're talking about pure love today. The love that heals, nourishes, inspires, creates harmony, lifts us into the light. That's the love I speak about. And you know, remember what Christ said, right? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. He means experience God. Blessed are the pure in heart. And to continue to quote the Bible, it says, a merry heart, a happy heart, a loving heart, compassionate heart, doeth like medicine, nourishes, parahojas of Ayurveda. And a broken spirit, a dark spirit, negative, aggressive, victim consciousness, dries the bones, saps away energy away. In the yoga tradition, the heart features as Anahata chakra in the center of your chest. I often see people who are listening to the national anthem would put their hand at the physical heart. Perhaps because the body is of the country. But when you put it at the center of the chest, you're putting it in your loving center. I love my country. Not just my body in service to the country, pledging, but I love my country from the depth of my being. And of course, that doesn't make you disregard every other country. I love my country, but I love my world. It has the I and it has the we. That's where pure love is. I showed you in the meditation today how to invoke it. But let's focus for a moment on its nourishing power. In the science of Ayurveda, the healing science, it speaks about the center of love as being a center of para. Para means beyond, higher. Ojas. Ojas is the nourishing, subtle energy from the divine. It says that the highest nourishing experience comes from the heart. How can you neglect the heart? Of course, you can channel the energy of the heart in aggression, in hate, in unforgiveness, but they are not nourishing. When you get to love and compassion and kindness, understanding, non-judgment, you're coming from a nourishing heart. When you hold someone's hand, the energy of the heart can flow through the hand to the other person. Do you know this? That your heart is connected to the meridians of the hands. That when you have an open, loving heart, you can transmit energy that can uplift someone. Do you see why we shake hands? And now if you shake both hands, that's even more powerful. One hand is a giving and one hand is a receiving, if you experience that. So when we hold hands to connect in a group, we are truly sharing. We are receiving from one end and transmitting from the other end. We receive with the left and we transmit with the right, depending on which hand is dominant. That is the kind of love we need to aspire to. But what determines that? What determines the purity of the love? It's the mind, of course. It is the mind. It is the mind that can lead the heart. The mind is in a higher chakra. But it cannot be the lower mind that drives the primal, or the primal drives our primal nature. It cannot be the lower mind. It has to be the higher mind. And how do you invoke the higher mind? Invoking the higher mind is where the bindu point is. You've heard of the bindu? It's a little higher than the manas chakra. Spiritual discipline can take you to the bindu. By looking at your patterns directly in the eye. By looking at all your patterns and cleaning up the dark ones through your processor, your mental processor, which is the buddhi. In yoga, we call that energy space that processes the vijnanamaya kosha, the processing element. The manomaya kosha has to deal with the body and the elements and the senses. The vijnanamaya kosha, one a little higher, a finer sheath, is the processor, buddhi. And beyond that is anandamaya kosha, the energy layer or sheath of joy, of love, of happiness, associated with soul consciousness, pure consciousness. So the mind is extremely important. Then you will understand why Gayatri mantra is important. Bhur Swa relates to the different chakras. Tat Savitur Varenyam relates to the transcendental space from where the light comes from. Tat Savitur, like the sun. Varenyam, worshipable. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. I meditate on that light, that sin-absorbing light, Bhargo. That is divine. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo, intellect. Yona prachodayat. May that transcendental light that comes from beyond, that is sin-absorbing, that is divine, I pray that that light will illumine my mental space, give power to my processor, mental processor, buddhi. Dhiyo. Dhiyo na prachodayat. So when perchance you say Gayatri mantra, do you remember that? Do you know what you're saying? Om bhur swaha. That's Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. I absorb everything from that mantra. I become the mantra. Om bhur swaha. That's Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. When you can pray with that intention, the mental space will open up to the bindu. When the bindu opens up, it gives divine awareness. It allows you to see the entire world as a divine play. So we need that opening up of the bindu. Not an easy process. But guess what makes it easy? Easier. Guess. Guru. Sadguru. The true Guru, Sadguru, is one who lives in the light, one who lives in transcendental consciousness. When such a being enters the space, our space, guess what happens? We get a wave to ride on. We begin to feel an impact inside of us. That's how I got to truly understand Baba Muktanand. I sat in front of him, but couldn't understand him when I tried to focus on the physical body. The moment I closed my eyes and I went inside, then I could feel the enormity of this being, not physical at all. Channeling from another space. And I said to myself in my heart, that's the space that I want. I craved that space from where he was acting. And he became my model. I held on to him right down to the end of my journey. He was, for me, the Kundalini energy in manifestation. That's what the Guru is. That's what the Christ was. That's what the Buddha was. All the great masters, they played different roles, but they came from the same transcendental space. So if you can get into the field of the Guru as you did with me this morning, if you can get in the field of the Guru, you have a wave to ride on. And all you need to use your ego to ride that wave. A pure ego. An ego in surrender to the divine power. Analogous to the surfer riding the wave. The ego is a surfboard. It has to ride that wave. It has to feel the power of the divine behind it and stay completely aligned to it. And the surfing will become absolute joy. The human experience will become absolute joy. Are you enjoying your human experience yet? This is the way. The Shiva Sutras has it very clearly. Guru Rupaya. Upaya is the way. Guru Rupaya. The Guru is the means. The Guru is the way. Do you see why I walk with you? Do you see why I hold your hand? Do you see why I sing with you? Do you see why I breathe with you? Do you see why I meditate with you? Do you see why? So that you can ride the same wave I'm riding on. That's why. That's why. And every time we chant Om Sahana Bhavatu, it means may we, Guru and disciple, be protected together. Sahana Bhunatu, that we be nourished together. Sahaviryam Karavavahe, that we be strong together. Tejasvi Navadi Tamastu, that our knowledge be full of light, sattva. Ma Vidvishavahai, may we stay together despite the physical differences or mental differences. May we stay together. What a journey. But what grace, what support. What support. Without the Sadguru, I couldn't survive. My life was like in a desert, dry, parched. The Sadguru became the oasis, a place where I could be nourished. I'm forever grateful to the Sadguru. But more than that, the Sadguru is myself, my deeper self. In finding the Sadguru, I found myself. I found Vasudeva. So Vasudeva and the Sadguru are one. Just like what Christ said, I and my Father are one. May we live in oneness. May we live in that oneness. May we truly understand what we are. And may we understand the way to the divine through the Master, Guru Rupaya. So have a blessed Sunday, everybody. It's a joy to speak to you about this. Always, always, always. May we continue to stay together. And may we continue to live fully and masterfully in the light. Thank you. Namaskar.